That's cool.
What's that?
That deal.
The whole screen?
Yeah.
Have you never seen that before?
Well, yeah, I have, but I just never really.
Oh, never really.
He's never seen it from that end.
Yeah, it's a little bit different from this side, isn't it? Here we go.
Did you
You need a
create
drink or
that?
something, Clint?
Ayame?
Would you like some water or something?
Yeah. Yeah, I threw it together for him for something. I think it was for this. I'm not sure.
Yeah, you put that together for this.
Was it for this?
Would you like a drink, Clint?
I have one right there. There's a little water right there on the thing. Over by the
By that one thing. Yeah, you can put it right there.
upside down
On that
pig over there.
Pig.
What's that on Windy City Heat? When they're in his office, they're in the producer's office,
Oh, I don't
and they're
remember.
messing with Perry on the speakerphone. And he's like, "Are you sitting in my chair, Perry?" He's like, "No, I'm sitting over there by the." They have like this upside down hog just sitting in his office.
Okay. All right, here we go. Let's see if we can't get this started for the real deal now. Maybe, possibly. Okay, that's
Possibly.
on, that's on. You can hear us all right, can't you?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
I sure can.
Sweet.
We'll do that. All right. Well, sorry, my eyes are a little bit watery. I just put in some eye drops because they were bugging me a little bit. These contacts are getting used to them again. But thank you, everyone. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. Karmic Transmission 50. I moved and don't have my notebook. 54. Hang on.
We're gonna check on that.
Yes.
You would have thought that this would be the sort of thing that we would arrange beforehand, but no, because we are professionals here.
We're always professional. Yeah, number 54. That's the one that we're on. That's the number because you know, we're on top of things. But thanks for joining us. As always, I'm Jake Vanderlyn, and with me is my brother Clint, my friend Ayame, some of the best people I've ever known in my life right here. As you can see, we're in a little bit of a transition. We're working on getting the full office set up, ready to go. But to get everything out of the way, as always, best place to find out what we're doing, you know, what we're all about is check out our website, karmaincarnate.com. If you're really feeling froggy and want to jump in and get involved, there's all kinds of ways from buying family food gifts to signing up and taking the challenge, which is a whole other level of commitment, but it's something that we enjoy having people do because it's amazing. It's kind of what we've all done together, is taking a challenge to end hunger, right? But from our website, you can always find us on social media as well: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. What am I missing? We don't do TikTok yet, right?
Not yet.
Yeah, so I don't know that we'll do that one anytime soon, but it's an option down the road, maybe someday.
I mean, Rex did recently finally get a Facebook account, so it's possible.
It's true.
It's
Another
closer
10 years,
now than it's ever been.
It's anything could happen, but a great place to catch us is on all the Facebook, social media, that kind of stuff. YouTube is a great place to catch all of our videos, live 5-2 karmas, trip videos, all kinds of fun stuff. And as always, thanks for joining us on the Karmic Transmission, where we're here to just talk about life, what's going on in the world, and how it all relates to what we're trying to do, which is bring a little light and goodness back into all of it, because it's all it takes is some action, a little bit of rolling up your sleeves and diving in, right?
Right.
So, but yeah, anyway, as you can see, we're moving closer. My brother Clint here is such an amazing guy. I was actually gonna, after this transmission, show him the office that we're gonna set up and turn into the full studio to start having big sessions. And then, you know, Ayame, with your office, we might have to set up 2 hot sets and bounce back and forth, because that's pretty sweet look you got behind you there.
Thanks. Yeah, I mean, if you remember the last time I was on here, I think it was just a big, empty, unpainted room with nasty carpets, and we're finally almost done, like a year, like a year in. Yeah.
Well, it looks amazing. I can't believe all the stuff that you got hung up in such a short amount of time. That's really cool.
Thanks. Yeah. I've got I'm working on some accent lighting and some special effects, but it's almost there. the computer area, the part you can't see behind my camera is still just a complete mess. It was like nothing but screens and wires and hastily assembled lights back here. But the good news is if I do keep working from here, then I can, I've got space where I can put up some sound dampening foam. I've got some space for lights up there. Actually, I'm not really sure how good I'm going to sound because I'm basically speaking into a closet, which is sort of a basically just noise amplifier. So
I was actually, so did you take the desk idea for the closet that I kind of gave you? For
I mean, not yet. I'm not saying I won't do it, but like I haven't had time to implement it yet.
Huh.
So
well, that's cool though. I'm glad that you're using that space. It's a good idea.
For now, it's just I've got the same desk I was using, but it's just in a closet.
That works. That definitely works.
Yeah.
And hey, it's no different than me sitting in my office and talking to a great big wall behind my computer when we normally do this.
Oh yeah.
But that's why I say it's going to be neat. I'm really excited because this already changes things.
Yeah.
Having Clint here while I was setting all this up and just kind of talking and shooting the proverbial shit. It really does change the energy in approaching the transmission.
It just feels right.
I mean, having the two of you on screen together, I will say it's like it feels very, I would say it feels right. Little intimidating for sure, but definitely I'm getting sort of a professionalism that obviously is misconstrued, but you're projecting it, and that's good.
Baby steps.
Yeah.
It's all about the baby steps. Okay. And I was actually thinking about it. So, it's got to kind of talk about the sheer fact of one of the things that we did when we wanted to do the podcast is this whole karmic transmission thing is years in the making, right, Ayame? I mean, we've been talking about this basically since the inception of karma.
Yeah.
We've talked about doing something like this. And over time, it kind of moved and developed into different ways, and we had different approaches for what we wanted to do. And to be honest with you, a lot of it, we kind of had an idea of a Joe Rogan format, where he sits at a desk and across from people and things like that. And as I've been approaching this and thinking about it the last few months and wanting to set up the room, to me, that's not our style. You know what I mean? Because to me, the thing that's missing is moving the camera back further and having Ayame with us and a guest. You know what I mean? And having it able to see all of us sitting together and almost like you're the fifth member in the group having the conversation.
It almost needs a round table.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Get a round table, get a bunch of people and a spinning camera and shoot it like a Quentin Tarantino movie. Only thing is it's
or an episode of that 70s show, right?
It's going to be hard to get in what you want to say when the camera's on you.
Yeah, that's what I say. This whole thing, but I'm liking this idea of more of an open up. Let's let it be seen, and what's
okay. Cool. Hold on, I got a thought here.
Okay,
let's put a 3D camera, a 360 camera in the middle of the table, and you'll have to watch it VR, and you can put on the goggles, the Oculus. And you can just turn your head to whoever you want to look at.
I think people would get sick, but I love the idea. And we're right on the same, because here's the bigger one is I'm with your office, with sitting out here in front of my DVD cabinet and other stuff. I love this idea of having a dressed set. And I've got that monster Star Destroyer that I need to put somewhere. And it would be amazing to have on screen with us, wouldn't it?
Like God, yeah, we can set up and that's the thing is like if you want to start talking about decor, I got you there. Like,
yeah,
I can do that. We can set up effects. We can have
See, that's what I'm talking about. Is we'll have this really cool set with things that each of us can bring in, kind of like the Karma office set that I was over cleaning last week. Is when I was going through there, there's little touches of every single one of us in that office. From little statues to the books that are on the shelves, it's as much just the karma communities as it is our shooting office. You know what I mean? And that's kind of the feeling that I want to make sure that we've had gotten that room so that everybody feels invited and welcome, you know. And to me, a good part of that is having a little bit of each one of us in that setup. So I'm gonna need you to come over and help set up some stuff, and Clint will help set up some stuff, and it'll be fucking cool. That's what I'm talking about.
I've got that Millennium Falcon collector
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, see? And that if we can set up a cool spot for a big Millennium Falcon and a big Star Destroyer hanging in the background while we're talking.
And hey,
You have
I
to
know,
have the Falcon
I feel like
come
that'll
in
show
the
up.
foreground, so it looks, you know, like a perspective, like the Star Destroyer chasing it.
Yeah.
you know, let's just build the Millennium Falcon interior and we can just sit around the chess table.
Ooh.
Yeah.
This speaks to my inner nerd.
I'm not really so sure it's an inner nerd, but you know, I'm any excuse I have to build the set, I'm pretty happy about.
Well, you know, this is kind of I was talking with Clint, that cherry tree. I look at it every day. It's such a heartbreaker. Every time I look at it, I just like that.
That's a beautiful.
You should
tree.
probably tell everybody what you're talking about for those of you who aren't.
Have we talked about the cherry tree?
We haven't talked about the cherry tree because it happened.
Yeah, it just happened. It happened last week, didn't it?
No, it happened. It happened the night of the last Karmic Transmission. So we had the transmission. It was all over and wrapped up, and I was hanging out here in the basement, and it blew over. So yeah, but anyway, well, and I'll get some pictures up. But I had this beautiful, huge cherry tree in my backyard. Thing had to have been there. I'm gonna say probably 80 to 100 years. Just huge. You know,
the circumference of the trunk is like a kitchen table.
Before it broke, yeah, it was huge. It was huge. You know, the limbs are this big around. Yeah. Right. Anyway, beautiful cherry tree, but it broke in a bad windstorm. And after the cleanup, I'm really nervous that I might have to lose it because it's got a weird split. Everything all right, Rexy boy?
Oh yeah.
What's up?
Nothing. Just come and look at you.
Spying on us?
We're being watched.
He couldn't stay away
for
know. 10 minutes.
Why don't you come sit down with us, Rexy?
Yeah.
We'll sneak you in here somewhere if you can find a chair. But anyway, my beautiful cherry tree broke and I was a little worried about saving it. Well, I got looking at it again today and there's another split on the back side of the trunk, which makes me even more nervous about it breaking again. And this got me thinking, well, what if I have to take the whole thing down? And immediately my brain goes to really big garage, which means we might have a big space to set up like a Millennium Falcon-esque studio if I have to get rid of a cherry tree. So
well, this could be huge for us.
This, yeah.
You could, a studio can also be a music studio.
Mm-hmm.
So you get the band back together.
Well, start the band to get the band back together. You
always say get the band back together. This sounds cool. And it's a little homage to the Blues Brothers.
You know, the thing is with the price of lumber these days, I love your cherry tree. It's a gorgeous tree. For those of you who haven't seen it, and if he forgot to put pictures in, which I'm guessing is a distinct possibility.
No.
It is an absolutely gorgeous tree, and it would be a shame to lose it. But if you have to, with the price of lumber nowadays, there is no other way you're going to be able to build an entire studio. So that may be a blessing in disguise.
It's true. It's really true. That is and what's funny is, like I said, I go to garage, but I don't have enough cars to even exceed my carport to need the garage. Hey, Timmy, how's it going, man? But yeah, it would be. Tim Kirschman's a good buddy of ours, and he likes to jump in from time to time. Tim's a great guy. I hope that they're doing good with the onion sales down there. I know we dropped the onions off over the weekend to help out our buddies down at the Masonic Temple, and we haven't heard anything today though about the truck yet. So, but yeah,
dropping
onions better than dropping other things. But yeah, that it would be really neat. Now I would probably go with a metal structure, just because I'm sure that Dad would be able to get that in for us cheap or trade freight or something. But I was kind of thinking about that, and you mentioned needing a set, and it's like, well, I don't know.
Yeah.
And that's the worst part is I swear, I want to save the tree. I really do. That's why I hired these guys to come out. and
Oh
look at
God, yeah.
it.
It's like I said, it's a gorgeous tree. It would be a
Yeah.
shame to lose it.
Yeah. And even, even if I can save the back half of it, the part that doesn't have any breaks or anything, if I can get that cleaned up and rebalanced, it could still come back and be a really pretty tree. But
A little more Radagast approach as opposed to Suramon.
yeah, much
you're
more
saying.
Radagast.
But if you
Natural.
have to go Suramon, you'll go full Suramon.
Yes, I am going to build Isengard in my backyard. That's what we're gonna do.
Pre War of the Ring Isengard, right?
Um,
Because otherwise, that may not be the best.
well, Isengard during the Third Age would have been after the Battle of the Rings, right? When Saruman took charge.
Yeah, but before Sauron came back is what I'm saying. Wasn't that called the War of the Ring?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
the War of the Ring was the end of the Second Age and the beginning of the Third Age.
Mhm.
when
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that's when
Sauron
Saruman took
loses the
over.
ring.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
the whole I can't even.
But Isengard was still probably,
Hmm.
well,
didn't-
the Numenorians built it.
Mhm.
So it was built at least in the Second Age.
Well, I think
See,
the big thing
Who
is
knows when it got
it
dark?
would it be post Saruman turning it into an orc infestation pit? Probably not. That's
What I'm
right?
saying.
Yeah, I figure our
Don't
time frame
build
is
the
off.
tunnels underneath, just build a tower.
By the way,
Overboard.
inner nerd, I think not. This is a blatant outer nerd sort of a situation. If ever there was one.
This is why we need you here. Could you imagine if you were here with us and how much more it would just amplify?
Yeah, but being here, I could go back there right now and consult my massive library and see exactly what it was called. I don't have the Silmarillion back there, but I do have I have several copies of The Hobbit. So if you need to know anything about that, I gotcha.
What's amazing is just how much stuff there is. That's the part that shocks me, is when you get into a lot of this stuff, the world building that Tolkien did was just incredible. It really was. And
Parallel, yeah.
the only thing that I can equate it to is somebody that's got the kind of wild, kind of crazy imagination that we all have when we're working together. That's because in doing things like that and wanting to create and build and get the band back together and build sets and all of that stuff leads to just wanting to build better and more original and creative worlds. And it really does just tie into what we do as a whole with Karma, because that's all we want to do is manifest all of that and make it here and now all the more prevalent. If we want to get together and build hot sets and shoot movies and do all this stuff, I have a feeling that it's what everybody wants to do, right? And why not find an easy way to work together and do something that takes care of all of us, so that's what we can spend our time doing.
Yeah. Well, it's certainly a more reliable source of revenue than YouTube ads like AdSense or something like that. So if you want to spend your time making videos or making music in a band, I mean, Karma's a much more stable source of income.
Yeah, it has all of that potential to be, and that's the incredible part, and why it's so neat to think of just applying those same principles, that idea of creating and world building to something as incredible as Karma. It really does just brings the imagination to life, is what it does. Because you can do anything you want to, if you've got the willpower and a little bit of work ethic in you, you can do anything you want. It's amazing. So I love it. Yeah, I don't know why I ran off on that.
Well, we'll see. I mean, let me know when you when you get serious about this, because I'll come over there and help you put together a Millennium Falcon set like that.
Yeah.
Because that sounds like a lot of fun. I mean, I'll help you build a set anyway, but that sounds fun to me.
Let me tell you the funny part is it's going to be that if I build a garage, my dad is going to want to put stuff in there.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's the thing is he'll be like, oh, hey, I got this car. Can I park that over there?
Absolutely not.
So it's gonna have to be an interesting one to figure out.
Yeah, you need to learn to say no. Be like, nope, no, you cannot. Absolutely not. No, thank you. Niet nein, niggy gay.
If only I was good at that. That's the one thing, right?
Yeah, well, it's a skill. You have to develop it.
I know. It's too true. But so how have you guys been though? Aside from me and my tree exploits that kept me busy from everything else, I didn't get a lot of time to catch up with you guys. So, Ayame, aside with the office, I mean, what more needs to be said? I'm sure you've just been spending tons of time on that.
I mean, this has been pretty much my focus for the past, I don't know. We got the floor put in, I want to say 4 weeks ago. And it's been kind of just nonstop since then. I mean, it's mostly new furniture, or new to me, at least, I should say. It's not like new, but it's new to me. Which, some of it you helped me collect. Obviously, I've got the fireplace back there that's not going at the moment because it's still daytime. Some of this stuff is from my old office. I've got a couple of the same cabinets, but back there I've got a new cabinet. There's some new paintings, new artwork, a couple of new touches around. So it's not very cohesive, I'll say that. Like, if you really get into it, like there's kind of a lot of themes going on, but I a lot of it is more meaningful stuff now than there used to be. So it's been a lot of fun. The only big things I'm working on now is it's like right over the fireplace is just this empty frame right now. And I'm trying to decide, like, if it would be too egotistical of me if I got like this really nice oil painting, commissioned of myself, like sitting on top of, I don't know, a pile of human skulls or something. And I'm trying, I'm thinking, that would be the thing to go there for sure, but that might be a little much. I haven't decided yet.
I was thinking you need to do one of those things where it's a painting of you, holding a painting of you, holding a painting of you, and so on.
So that would be, they call that the Stephen Colbert,
Oh, is that what they call it?
Oh, yeah. He used to, every year when he was back on Comedy Central, he would get a new portrait of himself commissioned, and it was holding the old portrait. So by the end of it was like 9-10 years, I don't know how long it went on, but there were literally just like him in front of like this portrait of him going further and further back until you couldn't see him anymore. It was hilarious.
Yeah. See, that's the kind of idea. Yeah, Rex nailed it, the Haunted Mansion there.
Actually, I thought about this face isn't the right proportion for one of the stretch portraits, but obviously there's a lot of Disney stuff back there. So it did cross my mind. I actually found a place, probably for copyright reasons, I'm not going to say where it is, but it's not too hard to find, where you can actually apparently get like fairly good size like canvas versions of those stretch portraits. So I found one that I'm very tempted to get someone for their birthday / Christmas. I think it would look really good in their stairwell, but I again haven't quite decided yet. So but I've got some, like I said, it's really just been this. I mean, a lot of it is the space is a lot different than my old office. So it's been a lot of reorganizing and resorting everything. I do have Sting back there as long as we're talking about
Mhm.
Lord of the Rings.
Oh, yeah, I saw it. Yeah,
Not the musician
yeah, not the musician
Grammy
Sting.
winner.
Yeah,
If
no.
you had Sting pop out, that would be hilarious.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
He might, he might be back there. I don't know.
could happen.
I've got Glamdring over there, but you can't see it. So
Well, this is the funny thing is, oddly enough, I remember that window from a certain night where your mom caught us trying to sneak
Yeah.
you out of your
that's,
bedroom.
that's the one.
I know, that's the window. I remember that was your bedroom when we were kids. That's the part that just I sit there and go, that is a huge move all the way around, but it's still,
It's
Yeah.
come a long way. It
Yes.
really has.
we've come a long way.
You guys are so grown up with your offices.
Yeah.
I don't have an office to redecorate.
Well, you're still working on getting rid of your kids though. When they're gone, you'll have
They're
so
pretty much gone. I could probably commandeer it.
You probably could.
But what would I do with an office?
Well, and that's the thing is like, mine's
Lucky if
a
I
lot
didn't
of it's for
redecorate an orb.
display, but I do a lot of work in here. Like this is where like I haven't got that stuff put together yet because that's the end stuff, but I've got like my soldering kits, my sewing machine, my 3D printer, my Cricut, all my
Mhm.
so it is a functional space. Like that's the best part of this one, but from the one upstairs is
Yeah.
you can't really see it, but there is a ton of floor space that I can actually use now. So rather than being, in a space that's about this big, it's like I could actually like spread out a little and do work.
No, it's that funny thing is, every guy nowadays they call them the man caves. Everyone has the man cave, right? But I think of the old office and study with floor to ceiling bookshelves and the cigar box and the big, wing back chairs next to the fireplace. Like,
Oh, you mean like that wingback chair right there?
it's a little dark. I can't really see it.
Well, trust me, it's there.
No. I'm talking about the really big leather ones,
Can you see it now?
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, it's close. I would want much bigger though, much.
Well,
bigger, opulence beyond opulence, right?
the problem with that is
Like
that
Mr.
opulence
Burns'
costs
chair.
a
Yeah.
lot of money, and I don't have a
I
lot
have
of
a
money.
chair, something or other.
Yeah, exactly. I need,
Like-
that's
Trust me, if I could be opulent, I would be opulent. But when you start talking about those wingback chairs, do you know how much they cost even used?
I know I
$300-400.
Yeah.
You want to buy a new one, like a really nice leather one, we're talking $1,000.
see.
The
I'm looking
bookshelf,
at it
I was
really
actually
before.
gonna get like a bookshelf, like a tall bookshelf. They have one that I really like. It's got like a ladder that's on it. It doesn't need it, it's just for looks, but that's $1,300 right there.
Yeah.
The one I got was free. So
See, that's more what I can afford, but I
Yeah.
can always drink, can't I?
oh yeah, I've got some I've got like a crystal decanter over there full of it's whiskey
Yes.
actually. So
No.
you could come over here and drink. You can sit by the fire and read. You can make a 3D model, whatever you want to do. I've got you covered.
Yeah, but the reason you have an office is so that you can just pretend like you do stuff in there.
Oh yeah. Well,
be in there.
90% of it is a set for this exact sort of thing.
Oh yeah. So,
That's what I've been doing.
it's very nice. I look forward to coming over and taking a look at it firsthand because there's a lot of there's just a lot of space in that room. It was always very big. That was one thing that was really nice about it. So,
Yeah. I don't know. I look forward to the stuff that hopefully I can start doing to enhance things like our karma sets, and who knows what kind of stuff we'll be making going forward.
mhm.
So
No, I'm with you. It's with this new phase that we're moving into, and the ability that we're going to have to get out and do a few more things. We're going to want to have more display pieces and more props and things to take out with us. You know, my mom, her little wagon idea that she's got is a wonderful example of easy things that you can do to start just setting up and moving. And I actually found, and this is another one it popped up. And I think we've talked about it before. I saved the pictures just so I wouldn't lose them. But that time that you and I, see right here, when we were doing the
That,
the yard
yes.
sale, the yard sale in front of your house.
oh,
Those pictures popped up of us out there talking with people and having the screens. And I was just sitting there thinking about that going, you know how easy that was to have a folding table, a little sign, and just some stuff with us, you know. In our case, we set out a family food gift and just sat there and talked. And
yeah, and a laptop just showing some of the Karma videos.
yeah, it was really just a monitor, because we just had that forward facing monitor that I think we had hooked up to your laptop.
Yeah.
But with how easy that was to set it up and do, and that's all that it takes to get out there and just start interacting. We had, and this is just the part where I sit there and laugh and go, you know, hindsight's always 20/20. But I was sitting there going, you know, if we'd had family food gifts that we could sell back then, I'm sure we would have. You know, that woman that we were talking with, and she asked us about buying food herself, and we were like, you should, and talked with her. I can guarantee you would have bought one. You know?
Yeah.
And just something that basic, you know, not even a wagon, not even something, but just standing in front of your house with a sign.
Yeah.
That,
well, and you know, folding table, you could put just about anywhere. You could take it to just about any event. And the great thing about that was it was already set up. I mean, it wasn't even something that I had to arrange. It was already, and you could do the same thing at like a swap meet, or, you know, like a, you know, they have those job fairs. I'm sure that they would let you do one of those where you don't need a ton of stuff. I mean, I don't even think we took the banner out with us that day. You know, it's literally just,
we actually had that.
Oh, did we have the banner?
Yeah, it was wrapped around the base.
You got like, you know, you've got like the, you know, like I said, just your laptop hooked up to a set, you know, a monitor, or even if not, just having your laptop out on the table, so you're showing these Karma videos that already exist. You know, you've got basically your entire back office on your phone. You know, it's very easy to do, and it's something that is difficult, because I think, you know, a lot of people think about it like it's gonna, you know, like, oh, you know, I got to arrange a whole event for it, and you really don't. I mean,
no.
Missed it this year again, by the way.
Oh, I know we did, and that's
yeah, I did not even realize until like literally the day of. I'm like, oh, Usually I get a little bit more notice than that.
It's something that we'll just have to make sure to put on the calendar for next year, and then we'll have it pre-organized and set up, and that would be one that, because the next thing from there, and this is the part that, you know, mentioning the social medias and talking about that stuff, is we have those community impact agent groups on Facebook and things like that we need to get, and just make sure that everybody knows they have access to them. Because the next step after knowing that there's it's a community yard sale, right? Where like home neighborhood, there's a big block sale. Right?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. But it's just knowing that there's something coming up, and then letting people that are involved know. You know, you telling me telling Clint, Kevin Steele, Carrie, 5 or 6 of us out there just talking with people. And that's the one thing that is kind of hard to, it's hard to convey. It's not really hard to explain, but it's a weird trick that just anytime people see a group, okay, 6 of us walking around Disneyland wearing a Karma shirt with a scannable thing on the back, it grabs attention. It gets people wanting to know what it is, because it's a group, and people always want to feel a part of a group. You know what I mean? So just the sheer fact of having a few of us out there doing stuff like that, we'll want people to come around and participate. Just because it's different, it's something out of the ordinary. Like I remember Wes, our cousin Wes. He was telling me about one time when we got a cousin Wes that he's an entrepreneurial guy like us. He's always out trying to, find new ways of earning money and get involved and do stuff. Great guy. But one time I went on a little trip. It was me, Wes, Larry, and somebody else. I can't remember who. It was like Wes's buddy or something like that. But while we were out on the trip, we got talking, and he was talking about how on one of his previous soirees, whatever you want to call it, forays, him and a bunch of buddies like wore suits and cut mohawks into their head and stuff like that. And just because they all had a similar look, everybody came up going, "Hey, are you guys in a band, or what's your deal? What's going on?" Because it's that thing that's a little bit different. It's, driving down the highway and seeing a pink cow out the window and going, "What the hell is that?" And that's what having a group or a community around you trying to do something does for people automatically. Because the next step from there is, well, how do I get into the group? How do I start getting involved?
Why
But it's
can't I
showing.
grow a mohawk?
Yeah, exactly. Maybe I have one, you just can't see it. You never know.
I used to could have one.
Well, I've never could have one.
Now it'd just be one of those like things on the back,
A skunk tail. But that's all that it takes is 4 or 5 people out doing something like that, and it'll draw crowds. It brings people around because it's that idea of seeing a community in action and wanting to be a part of it, because that's the part that everybody always wants in the end. Is how do I get involved? And to me, simple things like that, having a little more flexibility to do it is going to be key. So I'm really excited for a lot of these changes and getting people again around each other, talking about it. I can't tell you how this feeling right here is just different. It's already different.
Oh, I know I've been away for a couple of weeks, but it's a very different dynamic, and it'll be good. It'll be really good to have, I think, a lot of people in the same room, and it's easier to bounce ideas off of other people. There's less getting distracted. It's like you don't have cats rubbing up against your feet. Well, you do, and I do, but they're different cats in different locations.
I just worry about Clint playing footsie right now. That's all. So we'll have to.
You know what? To be completely honest, I know he's been doing it the entire time, and I haven't noticed. So
well, that's good. I'm glad that you're not noticing.
He hides it real well. It's the actor.
Yeah, you can't tell if I'm moving my feet like
oh no, I just know. Like I can feel it. Like I know you and Jake are both doing it, and Rex is probably sitting behind the camera. I'm sure he's involved, but that's okay.
It's what he does.
Yeah.
So, and that'll be the other thing is all of us in the room with Rex together. This is gonna. I can see these things getting more and more.
That's terrifying.
Interesting is the best way I could.
Yeah, I'm not sure if anybody could be in a room with you, Clint, and Rex at the same time. That's a lot of Anderlinden.
Well, maybe. I don't know. I think it would be good, but we'll have to give it a go one of these days. Have to give it a try. So you got a kitty cat with you?
Yeah, she's back there spazzing out on the chair.
My cats are all outside because there's a dog in the basement.
Was that the dog that was walking behind you?
Yeah. We got Shiloh down here with us.
Yep. Shiloh's visiting.
Because that's the other fun thing is depending on that kind of setup, you might have a visitor like that. There might be a Shiloh or a cat or something that pops in. Who knows?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm really excited because with all of these changes, with everything that we're doing, and how much just the energy of everything going on around us is screaming change. Like that's what's going on. It's what's going to happen in a lot of different ways, and that means that it's time for us to capitalize on it, because anytime that there's this kind of energy going on, it means that you need to be brave. It means that you need to be willing to take that chance and go after whatever you're seeking, because now is the time to build your fortune, because it's just raw energy available for the taking, you know. And when you're coupling that with something like trying to help people and trying to put good back into the world, it can't do anything but come back around and lead to more good. That's the part that's so incredible about it, is, you know, energy moves to where the action is. You know, when you look at a dam and everything flowing through it, the water is flowing to where the action's happening, where those processes are moving and actually generating the electricity that we use for this marvelous world that we have around us, right? Energy goes to the action. So
Energy is contagious.
It is.
Enthusiasm spreads.
hey, look at this, Rush lyrics coming at us too. But that's it
Oh,
right
very
there.
nice, very nice. That's a good
Right?
reference. Yeah.
Is that
It's all presto.
Presto? Yeah,
Is it anagram?
chain lightning, I think.
Chain lightning.
Chain lightning.
Yeah.
But that's it right there. And when you start letting it just build off of itself, incredible things happen. And that's where we have the ability to unleash all kinds of economic energy on the world. And that's what it is this idea of using a part of your income to help take care of everybody else and earn. It's and that's the thing, is we call it a karmic return is what it is, but it's a return on investment is all that it is. You know, anybody that invests in something expects a return on investment, whether you're putting that into the stock market or crypto, or even just into your own franchise business. If you're out there running a McDonald's or a Wendy's or something like that, everybody knows that the more that you put into that, the more that you can get out of it. And why not do something like take care of each other? You know,
Yeah, completely.
that one thing, if we tie them together and make that how we earn money, how we can move forward, why I know that it can do incredible things for us, especially when things look bleak. You know, that's the driving home today, you know, driving home from the gym with Rex and listening to the radio, and that's all that you're hearing is inflation or this or that and everything. It's like, we need to not worry about those things. They're a concern. But if we focus on doing good things in times like this, the outcomes will always be better, because that's what we're putting our energy towards, you know. And sure, it's scary and we don't know what's going to come, but that's why we decide what it will be.
Well, just imagine our society if we put faith in each other rather than these broken institutions like the government, let's say.
It's just, that's, like you said, it's faith in each other.
Yeah.
More than anything, when my tree broke, first thing I did is I went and checked on my
Cradle rocked
neighbors. It
hard.
Yes.
Baby came down.
The cradle rocked and that bough came down. Yes, the bough broke. Yeah. But
Baby broke his noggin.
but the first concern I had was for my neighbor's property. Did I break anything over there? And it's those small considerations. They worked with me. They helped me clean it up. You know, they did everything they needed to help me out with it. But in the end, it's that little bit of consideration as we get moving, it lends to others wanting to help out. And it's all it takes is that 1 second, that brief moment of, hey, what can I do to help? And it doesn't take a whole lot. That's the incredible part about karma, that more than anything is so amazing, is $50. You know, hell, does $50 fill up a gas tank nowadays?
Depends on your car, but
Right?
I don't even think
If you have
50,
like a
I don't
little,
even think 50 fills up my tank anymore.
Yeah, like
might fill up a lawnmower.
it's
You're not wrong.
it's crazy to think of just how little we're asking for to do something, you know?
Well, especially when you consider that, it's like the price of it hasn't gone up like everything else. That's a pretty interesting thing. It's like, karma's not asking you to put yourself out any further than it ever has, and it's
No.
still doing,
Yeah.
a ton.
Yeah, bingo, because that's the big one. And I'm uploading video footage. That's one thing that once we're kind of done with this and my videos cooking and stuff, I'll be back to uploading some more video footage. But that's the truth right there is, even with this last month, because I'll tell you that this has been the month of May was the first month where we really saw some of the biggest impacts of pricing on what we do for Karma. And even with that, our impact was still pretty big. It was still really, really amazing just what we could get by thrifty shopping and taking our time to really evaluate what we're doing, because that's the karmic difference right there. It's not just about throwing something at stuff and seeing if it'll stick. It's about taking a calculated, very thought out approach to something, just saying, look, if we can do this and keep doing it, the problem gets solved. It's that we've talked about it before, and it's such a funny analogy because I want to come up with a better one, but it still works best. It's that how do you eat an elephant? And it's one bite at a time. But if I bring 10 people, then Clint brings 10 people, and Ayame and Rex and my mom, and if we all bring 10 people with us and everybody takes a bite, that elephant goes away really fast. That's the incredible thing, that even just that little bit, that $50 a month that we talked about, is so powerful, because that's truly how you make a change. So, but I would like to find a better analogy than that one. If you guys can think of one, help me come up with
Yeah, I
it.
like elephants.
I do too.
I just get stuck thinking, maybe we should be taking more elephant meat, because it sounds like there's an
Aren't
awful
they
lot of them.
endangered too?
They are endangered. That's why I don't like picking on them, and they never forget. So with every elephant you eat, you're just pissing off the rest of them,
Yeah,
right?
they never forget.
They're
to
family
kill.
oriented.
Yeah.
The last thing you want to eat, mammal.
What's a stupid animal that nobody likes?
Nobody likes insects, but
But they're little
analogy
though.
for insects.
Yeah.
What about it's got to be a big animal too.
What about a dinosaur or something? They
See,
don't
An
exist.
iguanodon.
an iguanodon.
Iguanodons suck.
Iguanodon?
Yeah, iguanodons suck.
See, I was thinking of the one with the big sails on its back. What are those?
A Dimetrodon?
Yeah.
Technically not a dinosaur,
Oh,
but I mean,
I forgot Ayame's our register our
as close to an archaeologist as we've got for sure.
yeah. I was gonna say
Well, what about-
resident, right? Resident archaeologist.
You could say mastodon.
Mastodons are pretty big.
You're sticking with the elephant theme.
True. They're just big and hairy and extinct.
You'd want to shave it before you ate it.
No, you just you go caveman style cooking and burn the hair off as you cook it.
You guys are really like you're taking this to a level that once again the benefits of having you two in the same room are already apparent. I mean, this wonderful little aside would not have been possible before.
It's true. It's very true.
Speaking of which, we still haven't heard what Clint has been spending his time doing lately.
Nothing.
Well, you couldn't have made something up.
That's why
You had like a half hour here.
No, life's been great, man. Just, I played softball the other day. And I never played, but I hit the ball every time. I played with my wife,
Nice.
not just us. Wasn't one-on-one softball. We were on a team,
Oh,
but I slid into third with shorts on because of pride and stuff,
Oh yeah.
and took the skin off my leg. So I've been trying to get
Oh,
over
man.
that, but it's getting better.
That road rash is pretty
Oh,
rough,
it's pretty
dude.
nasty.
That must have been some slide.
It was. They called me out anyway, but
Of course, they just, dude,
It was still cool though, right?
sliding in shorts though, man. That's the part that I'm rather shocked.
Well, it was either that or puss out. I was going full speed,
He could have, you know what?
and I'm
He
like,
could-
let him
he
just
could have
slide
got
the
it.
leg in there. He's not standing on the base. The ball hasn't got to him yet. And I thought I was safe, but I wasn't apparently.
No belly slide for you.
No,
Hmm.
just on.
It's gonna draw a line somewhere.
I didn't really think about it. That's the thing.
Mm.
And I haven't been playing sports and stuff, so.
You're a
Whatever.
natural.
So that's the exciting thing I got to do last Friday.
Got the instincts of a ball player.
Yeah. Yeah, I hit the ball. I didn't strike out or nothing. So
Very
it was pretty
nice.
fun. Nisha's and then Nisha played. I didn't play this last time, but she played, and Cooper came out and watched her, and her mom and dad. And
Nice. Did you like a company work, like a work league or something?
no, it was like someone doing like the lady doing her lashes, but it was a substitute eyelash lady. Is in this one.
It's a weird way to slide into a league, but all right.
Yeah, the old substitute eyelash lady league.
You know, so I guess when the Karma League gets started, you're going to be captain of that, huh? Since you've got the experience.
Yeah, oh yeah,
See-
it'll be great.
Before we ever did softball, we would have to do like a karma kickball league or a karma dodgeball league. Like,
I'm guessing for most people in Karma, it would need to be something a little bit less intensive, like the Karma remote switching league.
What about ping pong?
Ping pong.
table tennis.
Can't get
I'm actually, I gotta say it. This is true. With as much as you guys seem to like playing horseshoes, always been kind of surprised that hasn't been more of a thing.
Well, there's not like, okay, so I got two things that I'll throw into this, because yes, horseshoes is awesome, but I've never heard of a horseshoe league. Like, I've never heard of one in town. I don't know that they exist.
I mean, that would make you guys number one automatically.
True. So first of all, there's that whole thing, which like, don't get me wrong. I know that we could do this because we've got plenty of past experience organizing and doing these kinds of things. It's a whole lot of work. It's a whole lot of work creating a league and then setting up everything that goes along with it.
Especially if you need to set up your opponents as well.
Well, that's the
So
thing.
it just sounds like you would need to.
You'd have to set up, you'd have to get teams, you'd have to set up a bracket. The biggest part though is finding enough places with horseshoe pits to go play. That would be one of the biggest challenges, you know.
Great thing about a horseshoe pit, very easy to set up. All you need is 2 stakes, and that's about it.
No.
So anywhere that we
You want to
can
go
put a
real
stake
quick
with a
and fast, you
sledgehammer.
just do cornhole.
Yeah, see, a cornhole league would make more sense in all reality, quick and easy. Because that you
You
just
can
kind of
set
set
up
up and
anywhere.
go. But I like the idea of a horseshoe league just because horseshoes is, I love playing horseshoes.
You
That's a
should
great
just
game.
you really should just build one in your backyard.
Well, I don't know that I would have a clean enough stretch depending on what happens with that tree. That's going to be the trick. is because I think it's typically like 20 feet, I think is a horseshoe pit,
I don't know.
something like that from pin to pin. So, and Riverview Junior High over there at that park where we had the last few Karmic use, they have a horseshoe pit, but it's only got, I think it's got like 3 pits in it. So you could probably do it there, but the harder part is you'd want to move it a little bit so that you get more people to show up.
Oh, sure.
So,
Those ones, I don't know if those are regulation size either. So,
yeah, have to find out.
Yeah.
Back in the day, the Canyon Inn up on the east side, which is a bar that me and somebody used to go to, they had horseshoe pits. And that would have been the place to actually have it. But I don't think they have those
Yeah,
anymore.
they did, didn't they?
Yeah. Because, just a beer and horseshoes go together like a beer and horseshoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like an elephant that you're eating,
Yeah,
but it's
something like
hairy.
So, but no, I'm with you. And the other thing that I was going to say is it's funny because when we were looking at houses down in Florida the other day, I actually saw a house with a horseshoe pit, and it immediately kind of sparked our interest, going, huh? But the house just was not.
Horseshoe pit's like really easy to build.
They are, but they aren't, because
they are. They just are. It's two small sandboxes that are in the ground with a stick in the middle.
Yeah, sandboxes with a stick in the middle. You still got to dig down and build the sandbox. It's a lot more work than you're thinking.
No, it really isn't. It really isn't.
The bigger problem with those kinds of things, having like sandboxes outside, they turn into litter boxes for all the neighborhood animals.
See, all I'm hearing now is excuses.
Oh, just be realistic.
I just, I'm just saying, it's like when we build your garage set.
Horseshoe pit with a pool cover.
Yeah, there you go.
Not a
When we
bad
build
idea.
your garage and your set, we'll build a horseshoe pit, but we'll put it inside and we'll build like some stands for you, and they'll have a retractable dome.
Yeah.
That way it can accommodate all of your little requirements.
See, now we're thinking.
Yeah.
It'll be a nice echo when they.
Yeah. When things ring, everyone goes deaf because it's just big bell chamber.
Get a big jumbotron up there.
Yell about
it. Oh man. Well, guys, this has been a fun one. I think we can call it good at the end of a horseshoe conversation, though, because there might just be a horseshoe league that comes out of nowhere. We'll have to see.
It'd be interesting.
Would be very interesting. Hey, I'll make you throw horseshoes. I know you can, right?
Oh yeah, I can. I just can't usually throw them in the direction they're supposed to go.
It's a skill we'll all have to get better at.
Yeah.
Rex is the ringer, though, from what he's told me.
From what he's told you, yeah.
Yeah, from what he's told me.
It's easy to say you're great at something when you refuse to play. Like, oh man, I would totally go out and join you guys, but I got this disc in my back slipped, and
he's got to cook hamburgers. That's the trick.
There you go. Yeah, it's like, oh damn, if only I wasn't stuck here at the grill.
So, but no, this has been a fun one, guys. It's been a lot of fun. I think this would be a good spot to call it, though, because this is just, it could go on forever. That's the hard part. Is I have a feeling that these things will get longer and longer.
Gotta save something for next week or next.
Not a bad
whatever.
Thing. Not a bad thing, guys. But we definitely got to build into it. Don't you think? No, am I?
Yeah, I'm stopping so you can wrap it up.
All right. Well, as always, anyone watching at home, thank you for joining us. Karmic Transmission number 53 in the bag, right? 54. Thank you.
You did a whole big thing about going to chat.
I know. And oddly enough, my mind went blank as soon as I went to say it. So that's where I got lost. Thank you for catching me. Karmic Transmission number 54. As always, we love having you guys around. Check out what we're doing on our website, karmincarnate.com. Best place to find out what we're about, what we're doing, how you can get involved. Reach out to any of our agents. There's going to be a fun little new addition that I'm adding in for a look up an agent near you option. That's going to be coming out here soon. And ask any questions that you have. Let people know that you're interested in getting involved, because that's the name of the game, is getting involved and making a change right here in our local communities. Because as we get more involved here, it's just gonna mean that we'll get involved everywhere. That's the beautiful part about it, is we'll just be there to help more and more people. So check out our social medias, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all that kind of stuff. As always, guys, we love you. We hope that you have a wonderful night, and take care. Karma out, I guess, is the one that we'll use tonight, huh?
Yeah, karma out.
Karma out. Yeah, that works. Have a good one, guys.
Karma out.
See ya.